For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
How satisfied are you that you've been receiving thorough explanation? There's been transparency regarding the use of CIP funds in St. Lucia, whether it's under administration of a UWP or SLP government. The United Workers' Party speaks on the warring crime problem in this country. And what is your theory regarding the government's decision to disband the K9 unit in 2021? You'll be hearing from an individual, and his take on the issue is quite weird, you might say. Welcome to another edition of NewsSpin, the most monitored talk show in the world. We are on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube. My name is Timothy Poleon, and the program goes on until 2 o'clock this afternoon. In a moment, I'll be turning my attention to what you are saying, how you are behaving in the chat room. And doing the honors will be Kimanish. Will be providing us with regular updates. The Citizenship by Investment Program, formally launched in 2015, December of that year, just before the general election of 2016, a few months before that. And I remember that among the Caribbean leaders who stands out as far as his opposition to the selling of regional passports is St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. But before St. Lucia took that decision to join Dominica, which introduced its own program, CBI program, in 1993, you also had before that, long before that, in the 80s, St. Kitts and Nevis launching its own program. The administration of Dr. Kenny Anthony did set up a special committee that was headed by former Prime Minister Dr. Vaughan Lewis. And the assignment given to him was to determine whether it was something that was realistic, something plausible for the selling of our passports. And of course, we know what transpired. We know the recommendations which emanated out of the work of that body. And so St. Lucia took what I believe was the easy way out, deciding to play the role of a copycat. There isn't anything novel about this, anything creative about just deciding to sell your passports. I mean, now what, as low as $100,000. And both administrations, I believe, they have failed in terms of the level of accountability regarding how much money they have raised and also to what use that money has been put. Now, you'll tell me from time to time, a prime minister would have gone to parliament, would have made certain pronouncements, but you do not get a sense, in the case of St. Lucia, unlike a number of the other regional territories, that our prime ministers, whether it's the previous prime minister or this current prime minister, has seen the necessity to painstakingly, to relentlessly report to not only the parliament, but directly to the people of St. Lucia. This is what I can report. The amount of money generated, or monies generated as a result of the sale of our passports, and the utilization of those finances. It's as if, well, we receive the money, we generate the money, and we just do as we please. It's just another revenue generating mechanism. And so why explain? We could take that money, we can pay consultants, we can take that money to pay government ministers podiums when they're traveling overseas. We can take that money to do as we wish, invest it in any program, any initiative. But there's need for accounting, because as much as we hear the passport belongs to the government of St. Lucia, by extension, it belongs to the people of the island. Because when you end up, through negligence maybe, some folly of one sort or another, maybe our passport end up in the hands of an Iranian or Russian, and that person finds himself on some Interpol list, or that person, is involved in some criminal activity somewhere, it will be discovered that he or she has in his possession a St. Lucian passport. That's a citizen of St. Lucia. Whether they were born here or not, that is of little importance. So that is important for us in terms of our reputation as a country, in terms of how you see yourself as a citizen, your passport being in the hands of Russians, etc., something that you hold dearly as a national of this country. And therefore, you would expect that when a government decides to embark upon such an initiative, the selling of your passport, they might take it lightly, but I think it's a big deal, that in the process, they would account to you. The monies raised as a result of the sale of our passports, any given year, let's say this year is $15 million, and give us a breakdown. This is what we did. We financed this program. We financed this initiative. We probably fixed some roads, maybe. But I was very impressed when the Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerritt, convened a press conference in December, I think the 19th, just before my birthday, one day before my birthday. And he was very thorough in explaining to reporters and by extension the people of the Nature Isle how he utilized those funds. He was thorough, and I believe that's not the first time he has been doing that. In the case of St. Lucia, apparently the authorities do not believe that they owe us that explanation. Let's hear from Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit during a press conference in Dominica, December the 19th of 2023.
There's no country in the world, and I say so will end without any fear of contradiction, no country in the world where its citizens have benefited more from the Citizenship by Investment Program. None. No country in the world. There's no country in the world who can show you visible signs of the Citizenship by Investment Program than in Dominica. You go to Bellevue Shopping, 382 homes constructed, new water system. You go to Center in Granby, where over 100 homes are being built. You go to Castle Bruce and Santoville. That on a home, the average cost of a home is $350,000. That's what I'm giving to Dominicans. $350,000 asset that belongs to them, that they can bequeath to the children. So we have taken people out of poverty by simply handing over key to them. People who had no money, no land, no house, who have a house. When you look at the hundreds of millions of dollars we spent in giving people new roofs over their heads, the average Dominican got about $60,000 after the hurricane to fix their roofs and fix their homes. The amount of the millions that we've put at the aid bank at 2% and 1% and 0% interest for manufacturing, for agriculture, for small business. I went to a business operator a couple months ago, and he's expanding. And he said to me, Prime Minister, I got $2 million from the fund that he put at the aid bank to help me do this. And the infrastructure that we have done, 14 or so new health centers, a new hospital, and the list goes on and on. Students studying overseas, the National Employment Program, $60 million every year, $5 million every month. And you can see the impact on employment in the communities, providing care to our seniors at the homes, keeping our country clean and beautiful, in many communities immaculate. You talk about my constituency, this place is so clean. You can sit anywhere on the side of the road in my constituency and have your lunch or dinner. You can even propose along the roadside in my constituency, and you adorned with plants, beautiful plants. You see, Curtis has gone past. I encourage Curtis, and he has listened to me, and now he's on and Matt. So when you look at the investments in this, it's unparalleled. And we're building our airport with the funds that will create opportunities and sustain opportunities for farmers, for manufacturers, for hoteliers, and to help transform the economy. The investment that we made in geothermal, every dollar the government has put into the geothermal thus far, funds from the Citizenship by Investment Program, to ensure that we have energy security, to ensure that we can reduce the cost of energy to our consumers, and to propel more investment into our country. So the list can go on and on, providing support to people to get specialized care overseas. Tens of millions of dollars we spent over the years on this. So I can advise countries on how best to use CBI funds.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit of Dominica speaking during a press conference in December of last year. So the point is, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, Minister with responsibility for finance as well, can learn a thing or two, can adopt a thing or two from his Dominican counterparts. I know they are good friends. So we expect that he would be emulating the actions of Roosevelt Skerrit and reporting to the St. Lucian public on the sale of our passports and also how are the funds being utilized. By the way, our passports, as far as the ranking, our passport, as far as the ranking is concerned, is at number 32 in the world. Significant ranking. And as far as the Caribbean, it's in the top 10 at number 8. And in terms of visa-free access, 148 countries. We'll explore this during the course of our broadcast. We hope that that's one of the issues that you would want to speak on, among other matters of concern, including the serious crime problem. Remember, there is no longer a season for the occurrence of serious crimes in this country. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Already, I see in the chat room, Kimani, somebody says, can you believe the passport office closes at 12:30 every day? And 2 days for collection, 3 days application, chukum. Really thought this was a thing of the past. What's in the chat room, Kimani?
Someone says, bravo to Dominica. Let's see. Daniel asked Hilaire to come to Parliament and report how much money we got from the sale of our passports. Another comment, asked Shasney what he did with the CIP funds. Someone says, you can go there and see all the homes, but they're empty. Another comment, Tim, nobody knows the amount of money Skerrit is getting from the selling of passports. He's just saying things.
We already have a call. Let's go to that contributor. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Mr. Poleon, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you. Happy New Year to you.
And Happy New Year, same to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you started fresh yesterday.
Very much so, sir.
You look like you're ready to box, man.
I'm always ready, you know. Particularly with low blows.
You will have to write that on your vehicle. There is a guy next to my home. He's on a vehicle, always ready on it.
I will not. I never advertised anything to adversaries.
Tim, I took note while you were playing the clips in Dominica, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took a very good note. If the current Prime Minister of Dominica is speaking the truth, let me put it that way. If he's speaking the truth, that is marvelous and great, right? So the people of that island apparently benefited. Am I correct?
Yes.
But do we have to beg our Prime Minister to tell us what he's doing with that money, the passport money? Is it a case we have to beg him? I mean, he owes that to the people of St. Lucia. And looking at the homes now, there were 2 homes, I think, constructed in St. Lucia. That was the passport money that did that.
Beg your pardon?
The 2 homes that was constructed over, I think, in Denry, these were from the passport money.
Taiwanese funds.
Taiwanese funds. I see 2 things built there. You hardly, if you have somebody 7 feet, they cannot even rest in that properly. But this is a serious, serious issue. Selling our passport money. In fact, selling our passport, for money. I have always been against that. This is something I never support. I never support that. But then, if that is a way of making, to get some funding, because we know, the country need that, then okay, we go to it. But then we need to do that and make sure we report to the people of St. Lucia, which is put us where we are, that what are we doing with that passport money? Tim, again, that very same problem in the canal remain where it is. Remember I told you last year about these pipe construction by Wasco, where they cut that road. Till now it's raining, then it's raining a lot. And this thing is getting worse and worse, more and more. It's getting deeper across the road. You have 2 drains that is cut across that road, and they barely put a little bit of material on that, and think it is an eyesore. There have been so many accidents during the Christmas Eve. Day before yesterday, there was another accident in that area. And I think you know the place I'm referring to. That's by the local wine area there.
I am aware, yes.
Now, these things still have stayed too long. That's too long on our nation road. Something needs to happen with that. Definitely. I don't think that should last there by next weekend. Do something, please.
Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath, caller. Okay, that's my advice to you. Don't hold your breath, because This government has demonstrated that when it comes to infrastructure, when it comes to roads, rehabilitation of roads, reconstruction of roads, it does not care. And I'm saying that on the basis of how it has been so neglectful in turning a deaf ear to the various concerns that have been expressed by the people of this country. There's been no shortage of complaints from people, women, men, the elderly, and of course we have no shortage of talk shows. So the government cannot say that they are not, and the officials are not listening to the various programs, even programs that are friendly to the St. Lucia Labour Party. You have had people calling those programs and criticizing the government. This is patently clear that the government does not give a damn as far as the concerns of the people of St. Lucia when it comes to the deplorable state of our roads. That's based on the evidence, and according to the Prime Minister, that's a fact.
Well, it is a fact. I think you're going to say it more better than that. Briefly, in the crime situation again, we at number 7. Up and on we hear, and my father was a policeman, not me. And I am getting so frustrated of hearing my father was a policeman, and it's not me. But then you don't know your father head in that you want to be National Security Minister. You still want to hold a portfolio which you have not performed nothing in it. If there is anything, probably we have more crime.
If Philip J. Pierre, the Prime Minister, if he were not at the helm of the government, and somebody had to reshuffle this administration, somebody wearing the hat of Prime Minister of St. Lucia, he would be the first individual who would be scrutinized to the extent that they would come to the conclusion that he should not be responsible for the nation's national security. Now, from time to time, cabinets are being reshuffled in Jamaica, in Trinidad, recently in Barbados, but this never happens in St. Lucia. I do not know why anybody should be at the helm of a ministry for the tenure of an administration and for their performance not to be scrutinized, and not on one occasion for them to be assigned to a different portfolio. This is baffling.
Because briefly, I am saying that because it baffles me. I mean, that is, and I have heard that nonsense so much, and it very frustrating me. I was not a policeman, my father, but we have a serious crime situation in that country. Homicide number 7 today, the 23rd of January. It appears that there was no relaxation from the criminal from last year. And the way we start in this year, where are we we never had a press conference briefing, say one or the other, the police have to change their tactics or their mood or whatever, how they're operating. There's something, you just having a man laughing in front of the camera like a little baby. I mean, he has not even learned from the job. That is an important job, the leadership of Prime Minister and National Security Minister. That is important. And that should never go without. I mean, that is what St. Lucia known to, the murder capital of the world. And we have a sitting government with 15 ministers or 16 ministers. We're not hearing nothing from them. And it's only the poorest of the poor, those little gangs on the road that are getting killed every day, and it's nothing. Thank you very much. I had enough.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. What is in the chat room, Kimani? Anything worth reading?
In the chat room, someone says, remember that same Dominican PM said we in St. Lucia should be patient and fooling our people. Another comment in the chat room, someone says, look, the caller make me LOL. Grenada also had a reshuffle recently.
Yeah.
And let's see what else it is in the chat room. Well, Tim, we do not eat roads and only UWPs complaining according to them. Upamele, their pockets are what they care about. AP, that's it. Another comment in the chat room. I want Daniel to ask Sam O'Shea why did he fire 50 single mothers at the Soufre Foundation? But that's it, Tim.
Thank you so much. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. I think we have a caller, Mr. Producer. I think we do. Let's take that call. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Timmy.
Hi.
Good afternoon, St. Lucia. Good afternoon, one and all. Pastor Ben, God's general grace and peace to everyone.
Good afternoon
In
to
the
you.
name of Jesus. Timothy,
Good afternoon.
welcome back and good to have you around.
Thank you so much.
As anything else, we cannot deny the reality in our country where crimes and violence are concerned. 7 homicides within 21 days, an average of 3 per week. I want to go back to Operation Rescue St. Lucia last year. And Tim, I'm looking forward to either be with you on NewsSpin or on News Make a Life to give an analysis and a synopsis of what it was for me throughout last year.
Pastor Ben, you think there is need for that again? I think, Pastor, it will be more of the same. It will be more of, let us have a spiritual intervention. Let us continue to pray.
No.
Let us
Tim,
have a
you
few
missed it.
rallies.
No, Tim, you miss it. I am presenting a message, and our government officials have not heard. Our talk show listeners have not heard. Ask Tim, if I ask the average person, what is it Pastor Ben actually saying? I am talking about including. That's the message we have not yet been able to hear. Right now we're talking K9. That is including. I am speaking of including a spiritual dimension which covers a number of things I want to present.
So why
and
do
the
you think,
people don't
why
know.
do you think the authorities, the Prime Minister, the National Security Minister, the Police Commissioner, why do you think they're not taking heed?
Because, Tim, the reality is people don't care about Jesus and they don't really care about crime in this country. And this is the reality from Pastor Ben.
They don't care about crime in St. Lucia?
Listen.
They do.
Listen, the care is when something happens. When I speak about don't care, I'm speaking in terms of putting a lot more into it. We are supposed to be a Christian nation. Jesus says, without me, you can do nothing. Why is it that we want to fight crime without the Lord? Do we have an answer for that, Tim?
All right, but do you?
I am
But
saying let's
okay, there are countries. There are countries. I'm sure there are countries that are not considered to be religious, and they have crime under control because of the use of Sharia law. Now, maybe we can't go down that road in the case of St. Lucia. We can't implement that method. We can't implement that method. But there are methods that are being utilized by countries that are not so religious. All right? And yet still,
listen, I will not,
they are reaping the rewards.
That, Tim. But I am saying we cannot throw the baby and the water out. Basically, we cannot. I admire what is the effort that's been made. And, I had those meetings to make a presentation. The authorities didn't even bother to come and hear what I had to say.
Pastor, you think, all right, let's put it this way. Quite apart maybe for them not being religious, do you think it's the case that they're not taking you seriously?
Well, let's put it that way. In other words, you see this including, Jesus in that thing, that's a waste of time. That's how it looks. What you put in Jesus in that for? We have the K9 unit coming. We have our dogs. Our dogs will be able to do it all. No dog can breathe without Jesus. Can you deny that, Timmy?
I'm not in a position to deny that, no.
That? We need, if we are having our new recruits, our policemen, they need the divine hand of the Lord with them. What I'm saying is, let's put a portion of our crime-fighting measure
within a spiritual perspective. Let's put something in it.
But let's be more specific. Putting a spiritual intervention in it, what will this do? Will this provide certain armory to the police? Will this change the mind of criminal elements in our country?
Timmy, let me tell you, if we have the kind of spiritual input we could put in this country, I am talking about criminals who can be changed and who have been changed. And you're talking to one now. And one day I'll sit with you to hear my testimony of what Jesus did when he changed me from the heart of a criminal as a 15-year-old boy. I think it's time that our country hear what could have happened if the message of that man, Jesus Christ, who we just celebrated his birth. We believe in Jesus, Timmy, when it's Christmas time. We believe in Jesus. Drink your rum. Have a spree. Happy Christmas. Jesus this, Jesus that, because it's Christmas. We will talk a little more, Tim, but I want to say I am continuing to say, let's do something. You know, Dicarius is a man I want to continue to admire. You know how much beams that man got? He has an agenda. Let's do something with the cannabis. Let's do. They chase him out. They talk to him. What nonsense you talking about? Where is it today? Maybe it might take many more years, Tim, until one day somebody will say, listen, Pastor Ben is saying, if we have new recruits, let us pray. Let us bless them. Let us take the Bible and show them the dangers that's out there. When these new recruits go out there, show them that there are demons and devils that will influence them to make money better. And let's pray and send them forth. I'm coming up with something, Tim, shortly, and I'm hoping that one of these days you will be around to hear what I have to say. Tim, I was in Grosville, and I was really looking forward to meet you on Dauphin Street. Also the minister responsible for Grosville. However, I want to say to our country, I am not giving up. Let us not give up, and let's not back out for the criminals. We are not giving up in St. Lucia. I want to commend the Prime Minister, the police officers, those who are doing what they can. We are not going to back out. Criminals will hear and see this country will become better in the name of Jesus. Tim, good to have you around.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling. Just
all right,
just there from Pastor Ben. Still to come on the broadcast, you'll be hearing from the opposition United Workers' Party expressing concern and condemning the apparent inaction and inability of this administration to bring crime under control. What we'll be hearing as well, we'll be hearing from an individual who says that he's very much surprised that the government decided to disband the K9 unit, and a theory on why the K9 unit was disbanded in the first place, as you continue to watch and listen to the most monitored talk show in the world, NewsSpin.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593 or 285-3329. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Call 457-4433 to get bill balances. Use myaccount.lucilec.com for detailed account information and to make online bill payments using a credit or debit card or online bank account. Customers may also take advantage of SurePay's online or walk-in service. DoSelect encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
Join us at the KFC Job Fair, Friday, January 26th in Richford Dennery from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. KFC is searching for enthusiastic team members, supervisors, restaurant managers, and delivery drivers, cyclists, and riders. Interviews will be done on site, so make sure to come prepared to join the KFC team and receive exceptional training and amazing benefits. Take this opportunity to shape your future with KFC. See you at the Job Fair in Richford Dennery.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel, and shoulder pain, cramps, and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pocket every month. Plus, now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Can't get a break from all this tax? Head to Automotive Art and get a taxcation. Automotive Art is offering you an ease from VAT and health and safety levy with savings of up to 15% and more. That's right, 15% of all tools, 15% of all accessories, 15% of car detailing, 15% of all rims, 15% of computerized wheel alignment, and 15% and more of selected tires with savings of up to 30% on some sizes. It's Automotive Art Taxcation. Visit us at Automotive Art at Vidbutai Castries and Latuni Vieux today and enjoy a taxcation. Offer valid for limited time. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
Discover Power 97.9 FM and listen all day, every day with powerful names in radio. Your power personalities, powerful shows, the best in Power Pack programs, pure niceness with Power Up Mornings. Wake up, praise, and worship. Then be a part of the most exciting show in the land. Threesome in the morning. Share your views inside the Situation Room. From 10 a.m., it's mid-mornings, followed by your Power Lunchtime News. And then the biggest lunchtime talk show, NewsSpin. From 2 p.m., it's the Afternoon Power Drive. At 6 p.m., we take off with Flight 97. Weekends are steamy with French Connections, Sound Up Saturdays, and Sunday Recharge. We dedicate Power 97.9 FM to you. Discover your champion sound. Power 97.9 FM. Enter the Situation Room. Weekdays from 8:30 a.m. Let's chit-chat a bit. Hard talk. The trending topics. Have your say and enter the Situation Room. Weekdays from 8:30 a.m. on Power 97.9 FM. The Power 97 Lunchtime News, a NewsSpin with Timothy Poleon. A 90-minute broadcast which begins at 12:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. News and NewsSpin, a Power 97 combination.
Hosting for a second this afternoon. In the chat room, we have some comments. Someone says, Pastor Ben, tell us what has Philip J. Pierre done to try and contain the crime pandemic, according to him, Pierre in the country, other than adding the gas to the fire and making problems worse with the wickedness that he continues to speak out of his mouth towards the opposition leader. Another comment in the chat room, St. Lucia is slowly becoming a godless society. Lord, put a hand in this nation. God will have mercy on us. If God were to turn his back on the country, we are finished. And do we have a call, Mr. Producer? Another comment in the chat room. We have a call. Thank you for calling NewsSpin. You're live.
Another comment in the chat room. We have a call. Thank you for calling NewsSpin. You're live.
Caller, can you lower your radio?
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello?
That's NewsSpin?
Yes, it's NewsSpin.
Okay, let me make my contribution. Kimani, Happy New Year to you and Timothy. You don't know me, but me and Timothy, we raised together. Hello?
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead with your contribution.
I was not impressed with what Pastor Ben said. You know, he could have said it better. What he said already, that is things I heard already. That doesn't make no kind of sense to me. You understand? The main person that have to come right now and say something is the PM. And he's not saying nothing. The Bahamas, look, today is the 21st.
Hello? It seems we lost that call. Another comment in the chat room. Someone says... Let's see. We need the manifestation of the Almighty so people leave the pastor alone. Another comment, all you pastors are afraid to talk about what's really going on in St. Lucia. And another comment, we cannot live how we want and expect God to work wonders in the nation. Someone says, Tim, prayer without action is useless. Pastor Ben, how can you talk about fighting crime, but when UWP had a cause against crime, you said you were not part of it. You were political. You have another call? Good afternoon. Welcome to NewsSpin. You're live.
Yeah, NewsSpin, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Okay. NewsSpin, I just want to make a short contribution there. Pastor Ben called, and he was telling the nation about God and so on. I want to support him there to say, it is true. This nation have turned away from God. And it's okay for we to bring all sorts of things to help in the crime, equip the police, bring what we can. But with all this, we have to turn to God and ask God to help us and to guide us. And people must realize they have to turn to God in this nation. The Bible says, if you build a house and God is not the foundation, you build it in vain. This nation have turned away from God. Look at what's happening in our nation. We put interest in all sorts of abomination, carnival, all sorts of things. But when it comes to the things of God, we don't know God. We say we love God with a Christian nation. We are not no Christian nation. God said they honor me with the lips, but the heart is far from me. Now, I'm warning again. God is about to judge St. Lucia. A lot of people don't like to hear that. We look at in the scriptures, God said and warned Sodom and Gomorrah. He did not hear. God destroyed this nation. God, that guy went and warned It was the guy in the shack of the mouth, I can't remember offhand. And the people, the government called the people to fast and pray, even the animals. And God spared this nation. I'm saying about crime in St. Lucia. We really have to seek God's face and do what we can. God give us the power to do some things we're supposed to do. And I want to tell St. Lucia, unless we tackle crime from the source, the root of it, we are not going to go anywhere. If you have a tree at your home, you cut the branches, it will still grow back. But if you go and dig out the root, that tree will not grow back. I just want to say about that selling of passport. Before I go there, since last year I'm trying to call, I don't know, you must be paying for something. It's so difficult to get through to make a contribution. I was trying, when Ras Ipa called, and he said like that, he was just called trying to find out what's in it for the vendors. That thing struck me so much, God alone knows. That's why we are paying for in St. Lucia. Everybody wants to see what's in it for me. Nobody say, let me see what's in it for St. Lucia. It's not about me. And that's why you get all these party hacks, because as long as they get what they want, they don't care with others, they care with the country. And I want to tell Ras Ipa, it's not what is GPS. People will say other countries are doing it. I don't care what other countries are doing. When we go sell our passport for money, anybody can come and buy that. Criminals and go overseas and do what they're going to say. A St. Lucian did that. A St. Lucia did this and so on. So we have to be very careful, and I wish they could have stopped that. One thing I wanted to tell Tim, you know what I want to see in the next upcoming election before it comes? You see, like the United States, they have a debate between the president and whoever going up against him, and a moderator. I would like to see the two prime ministers, the ex-prime minister and the present prime minister, go up in a debate. And you have moderator like Tim or Rick Wayne, somebody like that, posing questions to these guys. Have about 3 or 4 debates. And let's bring up the facts. Not to listen to some of those guys I hear on radio talking a bunch of nonsense. I know there are other people I want to call, but as I said, since last year I wanted to really touch on that hyper thing. And to one solution, when government or anybody make a decision, don't say what's in it for me, but what's in it for St. Lucia. St. Lucia is our country. It's the future of our children. So it's not about us, it's about St. Lucia. Okay, and I pray every day for all those in authority. I pray for people to turn to God. And I say, just look at it before I go. If we all listen to the word of God, let's say the 10 Commandments, and see what God says. If all of us follow the 10 Commandments, there won't be a single crime. But sad to say, the devil is out there, and I told St. Lucia 5 years ago, what's going on in St. Lucia is a spiritual warfare. The devil have his people, God have his people. And I don't care who get mad or who get vexed. I don't know. I know that's the truth. So we got to get together. We cannot stop praying and doing what we can in the natural, but we have to depend on God. The bottom of it, God must be in it. And I start to see how weak, trick Christians, men of God, in this society. And when it comes to carnival and all this bacchanal, it's free. Tax free, everything free. Even whatever they bring in, I can't say it on the radio, and I won't say it even though I was not on the radio, free. But when the church bring in something to help people, it's a problem to get it. God bless you all, and Happy New Year. God bless you all for the New Year. Take care. Thanks.
Thank you, Pastor Harris. Someone in the chat room says that debate would be unfair because the current Prime Minister can't mesh 2 sentences together. Another comment, the road not good, pray. There is no sugar on the island, pray. Like he said, pray. Another comment in the chat room, someone says, my question to PJP about the tax bill issue is, since you say Shas that came out with the bill, was the idea to take a $40 million loan Shas own too? Another comment, we need to learn how to respect each other and the country will be better. Someone says there is a separation of church and state. The church should take care of the people through the church and not the government. Get your congregation together and do your work, Pastor Ben. Government has no funds. Another comment, Pastor Ben should go to the hospital and pray for people to get better faster. Someone says maybe the criminals will give a break for Easter, SMH. But the same way he was Minister of Tourism, and what did he do for the industry? Pierre just cannot do anything well in any ministry he holds. And Estiele campaigned on CIP. Now he's the minister responsible for CIP, and he's very silent. How can we expect to be like Dominica when SLP begins to develop the country? We elect UWP to stake our development. And in the chat room, in opposition, SLP was asking for Shas to make the CIP figures public. Now they are in government. What happened to this idea? Let's see what else we have in the chat room. Someone says, Kimani is dead, Chamberlain. Take a deep breath. I'm dying. Tim has an emergency. And he just left me out in the wild. Do we have a call, Mr. Producer? Good afternoon. You're live on NewsSpin.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, I must say a happy new year to St. Lucian. You know, and the good Lord put a hand. That's one of the things I would have to say. But we have to say we are grateful to have St. Lucia, and we must be grateful to know that the good Lord give us strength that we can rise on the morning, and we could rise to do the positive things in our island. Because nobody cannot do it for us. No prime minister, no priest, no pastor. You know, when sometimes I listen to some of our people and they say, God, 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 that's been selfish. Because God has done everything for us already. He gave us a wonderful world. We are the one that destroying it. Man, that is the enemy of the world. We are doing the damage to our own self, our own brothers and sisters. We are the ones selling the drugs for our young youth. Sometimes when you look at our streets of Castries, we've seen a lot of young guys just going astray, going mad. Yeah, because what? The greed of money. Because we need to take the money out of their hand and send them insane. You look at young people sitting by the market just drinking their life away. And they're intoxicated for how many days, but yet still the barman, the bartender will still sell alcohol for him. When you hear the spirit of St. Lucia is alcohol. So that's what we have to ask God to do. To change the mind of the individuals that set in those kind of programs for our children, our young brothers and our young sisters that just going astray because of greed, because of that dollar. We don't give two heck about who's sad once we glad. It's about the intake for the day. Who could bring home more? Who's sad once I bring home $2,000, $3,000. And then so many young fellas. My young lady, you look at the number of young guys that just going astray in the street, our brothers. I don't know if you ever just go for Castries, Soufre, Vieux-Fort, Ancillary, and look Grosile, which is one of the number one places. Our young fellas just influenced by the alcohol and the drugs. And we have people damaging those young fellas' minds, telling nonsense for them to smoke, you know? And then we're saying, God will put a hand. God will never put a hand if we don't put our hand. You know? We are the one that's killing our own brothers. God is pulling the trigger. It's we that pulling the trigger. If all of us become criminals tomorrow, decide to just go around on the streets and just shoot each other, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You know, we have the mind, you know. We know what's wrong with it. You know, when some of the pastors and them come and tell us we have to pray. You can pray until tomorrow. You can pray until doomsday. But the the most important thing that we're supposed to do. We are not doing it.
All right, thank you so much, caller. Someone says in the chat room, praise and worship our praises. It seems as if we're having a very spiritual NewsSpin today. I think earlier the UWP had a press conference and the chairman of the party, Thorold Prudent, had some comments on the homicides so far this year. Is that clip available, Mr. Producer?
This crime phenomenon in this country has made our people anxious and afraid. Families are feeling the instability that arises out of crime. And when you can feel that you are not safe in your homes, when you can feel that you are not safe on the streets of this country, it begs the question, where is the Minister of National Security? Where is the Prime Minister who is that person? And where is that government? Folks, mothers are very, very nervous here in this country. Families are nervous. And it hits to the core of the most productive sector, which is young people between the ages of 16 and 35. So if we are going to eradicate an entire generation, where is the next generation of St. Lucians coming from to be able to produce things for this country, to be able to form the next government of this country, to become the next pastors in this country? I'm telling you, we are in serious trouble here in St. Lucia. We know very well that foreign governments have already issued warnings to their citizens about St. Lucia, that when they traverse and walk the streets of our nation, that they should be very, very careful. It's not my word. You can go to the State Department's warnings and the periodic warnings to the citizens who are traveling abroad and see it. So tell me, how can this country be proud of itself when nations that we depend on in terms of tourism are saying to their people, be very careful when you're in St. Lucia? Security costs for local business have gone up because they themselves have to worry about securing their own business. And in an economy that is not yielding much profit for those business people or persons, explain to me and explain to the average businessman in St. Lucia where they are getting this money to continue to secure their businesses.
You just heard there from the chairman of the opposition United Workers' Party. I've been missing in action, Kimani. Thank you so much for holding the fort. I went to flush something. You've heard the late Norbert Williams say, flush it, flush it. I wasn't feeling well at all. I'm a lot better now. Thank you so much. When I left, we were at 500 odd views. Now we at 600 and something odd views. Kimani, you did something good. So
did I?
The next time I'm not feeling well, I can't
Hopefully
make it.
There's
I'm
no
going on
next time,
vacation.
Kim.
You will be holding the fort. So what an experience. Let's continue. If your calls at 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Do we have a call? We do. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world.
Good afternoon.
TW on the line, Timothy.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Timothy, last year, our relationship was very cordial. I'm hoping that this year we have a better relationship when it comes to NewsSpin and bringing the truth to light. Like any organization, company, and registered talk show like NewsSpin, It has its vision statement and it has its mission statement. I hope what is written in your vision statement and actually mission statement to allow every single individual enough time to express their views and issues concerning the people of St. Lucia and the country at large, where your talk show will set a precedent which other talk shows will follow. I am asking that as host of NewsSpin, that you are going to give PW an equal opportunity like anybody else to express his views like any citizen of our country. Timothy, I thank you.
You are welcome, sir. And I've always given an opportunity to express yourself. But what happens, caller? As the host and the producer of the program, from time to time, there are occasions when I will have to vet certain calls because maybe what we are discussing, maybe because, for example, a particular caller has been speaking on an issue and he or she has been repeating themselves, and I have to curtail that contribution from time to time. Also, as the host of the program, I cannot guarantee anyone that they'll be given permission to speak for 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, etc. Unfortunately, for some people, that is the privilege that I have as a talk show host and producer of the program, to determine the length of the contribution and from time to time to determine who can express themselves. You know, it is really not my fault, but the program has to be produced. If you listen to the BBC, those programs are produced, CNN, you name it, that is what happens. You cannot have a situation where you give people carte blanche to say what they want, whenever they want, etc. Otherwise, we'll just have chaos and a program that is not well curated. All right, so that was it. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. 716-2026. Let me turn my attention to our question of the day. Why fight to win an election, then fail to deliver? Why fight to win an election, then fail to deliver? And so many of our governments have failed in one area or another. That's why up to now we continue to focus on high unemployment. We continue to focus on the real bugbear, and that is crime. It is as a result of our governments failing to implement the right measures, the right policies to tackle this particular scourge, as opposed to being readily in a position to make excuses for their failures. The broadcast will continue in just a moment with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. For example, a caller has his take, his theory on why the K9 unit was disbanded in 2021.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus takes charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Introducing the new LuSelect Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From my account to streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, luselect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. LuSelect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
It all started with a penny For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Glow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pocket every month. Plus, now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
Join us at the KFC Job Fair, Friday, January 26 in Richford Dennery from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. KFC is searching for enthusiastic team members, supervisors, restaurant managers, and delivery drivers, cyclists, and riders. Interviews will be done on site, so make sure to come prepared to join the KFC team and receive exceptional training and amazing benefits. Take this opportunity to shape your future with KFC. See you at the Job Fair in Richford Dennery.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel, and shoulder pain, cramps, and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Thank you so much for staying in the broadcast. We have a WhatsApp call as we say good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, let's try to see if we can get this call on the air. Please bear with me while we try to utilize the technology and put this WhatsApp call on the air right now as we continue. In just a moment, I have a special interview so please stand by for this. I'll be speaking with an official who would be speaking on the various social issues that are impacting the people of this country and might be the cause of the increase in criminal activity in St. Lucia. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let me turn my attention to you, Kimani, and of course, the chat room.
He says the new canine dogs can only sniff and detect pizza. Tim, from tomorrow, God willing, we will pray online before we start NewsSpin. I think that's a good recommendation, Tim.
You will lead us in prayer?
Oh, no. Someone says, Alan Chastney was doing that, but we filled ourselves. We don't want to be like Miami. Another comment, Rick is the only one who gets unlimited time on the show. He has earned it. Another comment in the chat room, you are so right, PW. Let's see. Someone else says, caller, you have always been given time to speak.
I think we have the call online now. Okay. Thank you so much, Kimani. We have the call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Oh, okay. We have lost the caller. All right. Let's see if we get another WhatsApp call on the air. Hello. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
All the best for the new year.
Same to you.
Yeah. I just really want to make something clear here, Tim. That the people in the boulevard, that they just give them some kind of ultimatum to sell in the boulevard. Now, Tim, I'm sure you remember that the boulevard was the area where those of us who are now at the Vendors Arcade and some of us in the craft market, that's where we were some 27, 28 years ago, right?
Yes.
And people went back in there and sell as a result of, politics sometimes. One party get out of power, another party get in, and they allow people to continue going there. These places were designated as non-vending zones. The Labrador Street, the Boulevard, certain sections of Jeremy Street, and also the Bridge Street. So people went back and vending there, and they allowed them. And that's one of the things I said, that the authorities have to be careful that if you don't want to allow people to continue doing business in a particular area, you should not make them start in the first place. But when you start to legitimize the vending business in the area that they are in, you start to make it look, give them ownership to the business, you're collecting money from them, they bring out the big tents and so on. So now that they think people are complaining about how so many people are, applying the boulevard and doing business. And in fact, someone from, who has the position of facility supervisor or manager have went into influence or cause the people to set up what you call a boulevard vendors committee. That committee, as he was saying to me, that the people don't want to be a member of the Vendors Association. Although I know for sure we have something like about 6 vendors in this boulevard who are members of the Vendors Association, including the Assistant Secretary of the Vendors Association. But the gentleman described the area as an area where they have a committee, and the committee doesn't want to be, people don't want to be part of the of the Vendors Association. We were never notified of the existence of that committee. We only heard about it. The point I really want to make there is, one of the situations that was brought to my attention is by Monday, a number of people came out there to vend. And they said that police asked them to not to continue, or they were not allowed to vend. They brought their goods down. What they were saying, they were not privileged or armed with any sort of information as to the decision to disallow people to vote 3 days and to sell 3 days in the week. Mm-hmm. So some of them came out there, they spent money, and they brought their things out there, and police stopped them. One gentleman almost got arrested. In fact, he got arrested as a result of being adamant that he wanted to continue vending because he had no information. He had no information about discontinuing or disallowing vending for 3 days in every week. So I want people to make it to get this thing clear, Tim, that most of these people there, they set up the committee. I heard one of the committee members saying on a particular news story aired on one of these networks that the vendors should not be surprised in the boulevard, because remember, during COVID, they were only allowed 2 days, and that they should not be surprised is something they're supposed to be accustomed to. And that's someone, I believe, who claimed that they are the president of the committee. And they're not association, as far as I know. They don't have constitution or nothing like that, but they're operating as a small boulevard vendors committee. So this is all I can say about that. And some people ask me whether I'm doing anything to assist these vendors there. They have never come up to me in no kind of way, apart from when they have this sort of problem, when it's after Junekwe, all they disallow them to vend, or after something or some kind of activities. But they never come up to me. They never join the Vendors Association, the majority of them. So I don't know how people are calling my name as if I have abundant vendors and all that. This is just not true. This is just hogwash.
Well, I mean, there's a level of inconsistency when it comes to how the authorities treat vendors, and also the politicization of this whole thing. Remember that the former mayor, Mr. Peterson Francis, he really tried to bring some order to the nation's capital when it comes to vending. Tried to allocate certain vending areas, but he came under a lot of pressure and criticism, even by some politicians. People are saying, don't touch my vendors, and the vendors will never be impacted, and so on. For me, I believe it comes across as something that is arbitrary on the part of the Castries Constituencies Council to say that vendors should not be operating in the boulevard on a Monday to Wednesday, but they can operate on Thursday to Saturday. And the other issue that you highlighted is that why set up a committee of vendors of the boulevard when you have a vendors association of St. Lucia and you are just next door? Why weren't you consulted on this?
Never. I was never consulted, and this was something that was deliberately done because some people, the gentleman called a program on Monday and was referring to me as someone who is very combative. Now, Tim, I just had an exercise just recently with my vendors. I work with Sir Arthur Lewis Community College in collaboration with some monies that was sponsored by World Bank. We did some digital literacy program for the vendors, and 103 vendors graduated in fine colors. As a result, Tim, vendors were registered the business, and we collaborated with the Bank of St. Lucia, Tim. And the Bank of St. Lucia is now giving us these end of transaction, end of sale machines at a concessionary basis. So the reality about it, Tim, is we also during the season, when the season was closed, okay, the slow pace of the season, we had good collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism via Mistress Nanji. We had her name is Nanji, the personnel we deal with, and we had four weeks, Tim, 2 days per week of a set of vendors coming and do what you call customer relation training and so on. And I don't know, just now we are in the process of working with the Ministry of Tourism to give them names of people that we want to nominate for the Jimmy's, which is the tourism award thing they have on a yearly basis, annually. So who is saying that I am so combative that people cannot work with me? And this same gentleman is a very arrogant individual. And to tell you the truth, Tim, I went to a meeting one time, and I was allowed to say something on behalf of the vendors on Broadway Street. And when I was given the opportunity to talk, when I started talking, the gentleman lift up his hand and start pointing on the desk. I myself jumped. I couldn't even believe it. And called police to escort me out of this meeting where I was making no such noise. I doesn't have no outbursts in meetings with no one. I come there and I talk. I know about diplomacy. I know how to deal with these type of things over many, many, many years. So when I'm speaking on the air, I might be sounding as if I'm speaking in a forceful way. But I am not any combative person just coming to meetings and want to quarrel with people in meetings. I've never done that before. And so I'm just saying that what you said there in your statement is correct. I am not responsible for that. I am not the one who caused vendors to have any kind of committee set up by no statutory board of government, because that's not going to be right. So I want people to please desist from trying to involve me and trying to, blackguard me and say that I have abundant vendors and all this sort of thing. And you know for sure that I am not that kind of individual. For a matter of fact, I have gotten stick for trying to go all out to defend the best interest of vendors in St. Lucia. And that is the record. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for calling, IPA. I just heard there from the president of the Vendors Association, Mr. Peter Ras IPA Isaac. Well, clearly the vendors are allowing themselves to be used by politicians, and that whole vending issue, that's a political football. We hear it in the reign of one administration. We continue to hear it in the reign of another administration. I think in the final analysis, the vendors are not being taken seriously. Comments in the chat room, Kimani, and then I'll be speaking with a particular individual in just a moment.
Someone says he called the police to escort you. Another comment, someone should produce a soap opera called The Market Drama featuring IPA. Another comment, when you stand for people, you stand with them no matter what government is in power. I feel like there is only one person in the Vendors Association, IPA. Let's see what else. Someone says, Tim Woy, you don't give PW so much time. Let's see, you should have mandated PJP to attend so he could learn to count words. Another comment, through his voice alone, you see they lie about him, on him. Another comment, the season is still closed, just some ships that have lost their way past here. Let's see. Someone says they're going to the market with their credit card. And another comment in the chat room, he was one of the best mayors in town. Town was always clean. Someone says that's what you voted for. That's about it in the chat room, Tim.
All right, let's see if we've got established contact with that individual and to speak on a range of developments that are being about to be launched in St. Lucia by tomorrow. Do we have that person online? We do. He is Callistus Jean-Louis. Hello and good afternoon to you. You're part of the Alliance for Community Transformation. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes, Tim. I'm part of that great alliance for community transformation.
And what is this all about?
Well, this alliance was brought about because of the social issues that St. Lucia has been experiencing for some time. And it was the SSDF that was given the mandate by the Prime Minister to approach these social issues and crime issues in a holistic way.
Okay, hold on there. When you say holistic way, in what manner? How will they seek to tackle the crime problem?
Yes. Yeah, not only the crime, but we're looking at other social issues that would lead up to crime. What has happened is we've had various groups like Citizens for Peace and Safety, RISE, and a whole set of other groups that are on the ground doing work, but they are doing it on their own. So SSDF decided, rather than doing programs on our own, let us form an alliance and let us bring all our resources together so that we can better understand the crime issue and we can coordinate a strategic approach and monitor and evaluate it when it is implemented. Now, here are some of the groups that are part of the alliance. We have all the government ministries, Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports, Social Transformation. We have somebody from the Prime Minister's office. We have somebody from the youth economy. They have people from the Hotel and Tourism Association, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, National Youth Council, and the religious community. And the goal of all of that is, Tim, we need to first bring our resources together because divided we fall, but united we stand. And with that approach, we are saying only together, and that is our theme. Our theme is only together we can do it.
But isn't
And
that,
that means-
isn't that, Mr. Luigi, yet another mechanism that is being instituted to do a problem that has basically been niggling? It has been affecting us over several decades. And separately, those institutions have not been able to function properly to tackle those various social problems. What gives you but what gives you the impression that setting up yet another layer will cause for there to be any kind of improvement as far as coming up with effective resolutions and recommendations and solutions?
Yes, Tim. As we were saying, individual groups have been doing it on their own.
No, but I'm saying that, okay, if you have social transformation...
Yeah, but we have never had...
Shouldn't social transformation on its own be able to deal with certain problems pertaining to its mandate? Likewise, the Ministry of Education, likewise the other entities, the National Youth Council, the Ministry of Youth, the Ministry of Sports, the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce. Why do you think separately they cannot be effective?
Yeah, but I just said it, Tim. Divided, we fall. Tim, to deal with crime and social issues, okay, we need to have a holistic approach rather than a silos, people going in individual groups. But if we could bring, and that is the first time in St. Lucia, that approach, okay, has been embraced, where we are saying, let us come together. Let us bring in our resources. Because the police is also part of that consortium. And we are saying if we can do it together to coordinate our activities, in addition to coordinating, there is monitoring and evaluation. So there are people who will monitor and evaluate each program because we want to make sure that whatever programs that are being implemented, it is people-centered. It also meets best practices because there are people who may be doing things same, and it does not meet best practices.
But
so as a result of that alliance, okay, there's monitor and evaluation. So that we make sure if any individual will be implementing a program that it meets best practices and it can get support. That's the power of the alliance. For example, Tim, let us say RISE. RISE is in the community. And they have observed that certain things need to happen in that community. But they do not have the means and the resources to implement, to impact the people. What they will do, they will come to the alliance because we will be meeting like on a monthly basis. And they can identify the problem that they are seeing in that community. And
but hold on, Mr. Jean-Louis, it takes an alliance to discover those problems in our community, those problems that we have. Hold on. Those problems we have been seeing forever, we have been witnessing forever in our country. You make reference to alliance, you make reference to best practices. I mean, those are things that we have been hearing for so long now. We hear of you saying holistically, tackling those problems holistically. Why should it take yet another layer? Another layer of red tape to tackle those problems.
Tim,
because you must come up.
There is no
you must.
There's flexibility.
You must evaluate.
Let me show you what the flexibility.
Hold on. You must evaluate. You must come up with recommendations. And we all know the third thing. The problem we have is when it comes to implementation.
But Tim, let me show you the flexibility. For example, again. You want to set up an after-school program. You do not have the means, but there is the need in the community. Now, there's the Hotel and Tourism Association that has a funding agency as aspect of it. and also the private sector. Okay, also, these people are already in the lands. We meet every month. The individual brings out the proposal. It does not have to go through the red tape of government because there are entities there in the alliance who have funding for programs. And right there, Tim, within the alliance, decisions can be made, okay, to tackle certain problems, and they can get the technical assistance because we have the resources there, and they can also get the financial assistance. So a lot of the red tape, okay, will not be there because there are people right there who are in the private sector. There's SSDF that already has a budget to do those things. So a lot of the red tape, okay, will be eliminated, and we will get what is a quick intervention, more people-centered, more community-centered, so that we can deal with an issue. The other important thing of the alliance statement, referrals can be made, because what will be happening, we will be having a diary of all the information of different stakeholders. So if you, Tim, you are part of that alliance, and you have somebody who is in need of a certain service, you will just go through your directory, and you can make a referral right there.
You're saying that the Alliance for Community Transformation will be launched tomorrow, right?
Oh yes.
Okay.
So our starting point, Tim, okay, will be having this big launch down in Viewport in the SIDS building that's upstairs the police station in Viewport.
Yeah.
From 10 a.m. this morning. We'll have people from the opposition, from government, the business places, name it. And it will also be streamed live on Calabash TV. So anybody who wants to have access to that launching can view it on Calabash TV.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Time is very much against us. I've been speaking with a representative of the Alliance for Community Transformation, and that is Mr. Callistus Jean-Louis. Finally, we have our NewsSpin news of the day. Mega rich renew call on global leaders at Davos to tax their extreme wealth. Mega rich renew call on global leaders at Davos to tax their extreme wealth. That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM, as well as on YouTube and our NewsSpin Facebook page. My name is Timothy Poleon. Be safe, and please join us same time tomorrow afternoon for another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world, NewsSpin. Goodbye.